ברגע זה
6 days, one journey. Visiting sites of the historic and heroic battles of the Six-Day War with Dr. Chagi Ben-Artzi.
שתיים ושלושים נכנסנו דרך הקרשים לשדה האש והמוקשים של גבעת התחמושת.
The war with Jordan started in the first day of the war. Jordanian artillery bombed Jerusalem, and many Israeli citizens of Jerusalem were killed and wounded during the first day of the war. Jordanian tanks climbed from Jericho to Jerusalem with the intention to invade Israeli Western Jerusalem. Israel decided to attack Jordan in order to stop the Jordanian artillery from bombing Jerusalem. The first act was to bring the brigade of the paratroopers to Jerusalem, and their first mission was to conquer this hill, Givat HaTachmoshet, known as the Hill of Ammunition. Many Jordanian soldiers are positioned here, and the mission is to conquer this hill in order to help and support the Israeli soldiers stationed on Mount Scopus. And during the night of the first day, there was a fierce battle here with many casualties to the paratroopers, but in the end of the night, in the morning of the second day, this hill was conquered and the paratroopers could get to Mount Scopus, help the Israeli soldiers on Mount Scopus, and begin the liberation of the old city of Jerusalem. Most of the fighting on the Hill of Ammunition, Givat HaTachmoshet, took place in the trenches. Many Jordanian soldiers were located on this hill, and they fought with a lot of courage. And it took more than 5 hours to the Israeli soldiers to succeed to conquer this hill. Many acts of heroism took place here during the fighting. One of them was in that site. The commander of the unit decided to send one of the soldiers named Eitan to get out of the trench and continue shooting towards the Jordanian soldiers. He ran here, succeeded to help and support the soldiers in the trenches, but after few meters was shot, killed, and fell into the trench. But the Israeli soldiers, the paratroopers, continued until the Israeli flag was up on the hill in the morning. This is one of the battles of the Six-Day War that symbolizes the courage, the bravery of the Israeli soldiers. Thanks to that courage, Israel succeeded, with the help of God, with a lot of miracles, to win the war. After this battle, the Jordanian army decided to run away. The Jordanian army understood that they have no chance against the Israeli soldiers, and from this battle on, Israel could continue to liberate the old city of Jerusalem. From here, the paratroopers continued to Mount Scopus, to Mount of Olives, and from there they started the liberation of the Old Sea. Come with me to Mount Olives and see the battle of the paratroopers liberating the old city of Jerusalem. Come with me. We're standing on the Mount of Olives. Here, the commander of the paratroopers, Mota Gur, stood in the morning of the third day. The paratroopers succeeded to liberate Mount Scopus and the Mount of Olives, and the Brigade of Jerusalem succeeded to conquer all the ridge south of Jerusalem. And in the morning of the third day of the war, Kafchet Be'iyar, the government of Israel had to decide whether to stop without conquering, without entering the old city, or to attack and enter and conquer the old city of Jerusalem. And here the government decided to bring the Jewish people back to Jerusalem, to the Temple Mount, and the IDF got the order to attack the old city and to liberate it. 10 o'clock in the morning of the third day, Mota Gur stood here, looked at the Temple Mount, and gave the order to his soldiers, Nuah Nuasof, attack Jerusalem and liberate it. The Jewish people is coming back to our holy city, to the Temple Mount. And the paratroopers attacked the old city through the Gate of Lions, Shar HaArayot. The Brigade of Jerusalem attacked the old city through Shar HaAshpot in the southern part of the old city. And 11 o'clock in the morning, third day of the war, Mota Gur stood on top of the Temple Mount and informed the chief staff of the IDF, Har HaBayit Biyadenu, Omer Shenit, Har HaBayit Biyadenu, Israel is back on the Temple Mount. Jerusalem is at our control. But this is not the end of the war. The Jewish people came back to Jerusalem, came back to our holy city. But what about the rest of the land? Israel decided to continue the war, to liberate the rest of Judea and Samaria. The paratroopers got the order to stay in the old city in order to finish the war here. And the Brigade of Jerusalem got the order, received the order to move southward and to liberate Hebron, the mountains of Hebron. And so come with me with the Brigade of Jerusalem moving southward to Hebron. And in the fourth day of the war, we shall describe the conquest, the liberation of Hebron and the mountains of Hebron. Come with me to Hebron.
כשלמדנו לדקלם על חומותייך ירושלים, הפקדתי שומרי